concepts, right, that we were probably not familiar with as an audience. Pavement structure, hot mix, asphalt, dynamic module, etc. And he took a very, very deliberate look at how he was going to define those terms in ways that the audience would connect with. So I thought he did a nice job of considering the audience and defining terms. Also, there was a nice mixture, a nice balance of text and visual aids in the presentation that helped us to understand what he was talking about. One of the things that he did well with intonation was what we were talking about yesterday. But, however, right, he was doing that little step up on words where he was contrasting. However, one of the things you can work on in Eduardo is within sentences, usually what happens is at the end of a phrase, we drop our intonation a little bit in English. Whereas in Spanish, it goes up. So we're going to talk about this in the coming weeks, that phrasing and how phrasing and intonation work together to show that we finished a mini idea in the middle of the sentence, and that's something that you can work on in terms of listening and speaking. Okay, nice job. Alicia, go for it. Do you have your outline? Great, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today I'm going to present an engineering concept that is called composite materials. The main reason that I'm going to explain this concept is because it is related with my PhD. I want to develop composites using eco-friendly materials. For that, the aim of this presentation is to give you a general background about what a composite is. For that purpose, I'm going to present the following aspects. First, I'm going to give you the definition of a composite material. Second, I'm going to give you the main characteristics of these materials. Third, I'm going to show you some examples of composites used in the industry. And finally, some advantages and disadvantages of this kind of material. Well, let's start. Let me explain what a composite is. According to Isaac Daniel, a composite is a material system consisting of two or more phases on a microscopic scale whose mechanical performance and properties are designed to be superior to those of the constituent materials acting independently. This definition could be complex. That, in other words, it means that if you combine two materials and create a new one with superior and unique materials. In this case, one material is the matrix and the other one is the reinforcement. And if you combine those materials, you create a composite. Well, now I'm going to explain the main characteristics of the matrix and the reinforcements to produce a composite. First of all, the matrix is a material that provides a protection to the reinforcement. And usually, the matrix is a polymer, metal, or ceramic material. On the other hand, the reinforcement usually is more stronger and stiffer than the matrix. And usually the reinforcement are particulate, short fiber, or continuous fiber. In that figure, you can see a scheme, an illustration of what a composite is. Now I'm going to show you some examples of most important matrix and most important reinforcements used in the industry. For example, in matrix, commonly are used thermoset and thermoplastic resin like polyester, vinyl ester. And in regard to reinforcement, the most commonly fibers used are carbon, glass, and iron. And in the industry, these composites are used in aerospace, boat, automotive, among others areas. For example, I want to show you this airplane. As you can see in the figure, the main materials for the manufacture of these airplanes are titanium, steel, aluminum, and composites. And as you can see, 50% manufactured with composite materials. Now, I'm going to give you some advantages and disadvantages of this kind of material. First of all, composite display good stability, also good strength and durability, but on the other hand, at the end of its useful life, these materials generate environmental problems. So, this is the general background about composite materials. And in summary, first, a composite is a material composed by two or more different materials that are combined together to create a new one, a superior one. Also, the main function of the matrix is to protect the reinforcements. Additionally, the reinforcements improve the properties of the matrix, and these kinds of materials are used commonly in applications like aerospace or automotive because these materials display high properties. But the main disadvantage is their environmental problems. For that, in my case, I want to develop new composite materials using eco-friendly materials. For example, biodegradable polymers like polylactic acid and natural fibers like bamboo, thicket, because in our country we have a lot of kinds of natural fibers that we can use for these kinds of material. Thank you very much.